Okay, so we're gonna get ready to start round two. We refreshed our cruiser like we did on the last video, and now we gotta do dispatch. So dispatch is, we draw a criminal card, and it's another crime. So I got a fraud crime, and what this guy is gonna do is you either place an influence on this card or discard a hunch when he activates. Then if there's 3 or more influence on this card, discard 3 influence, and then Slade gets 1. So another jerk. This one's going to be on R14. So you can already get an idea of just how annoying Slade is. So 14 is here, and then R is right here. So he's right there at the Capitol Hotel. And remember, the black that's the investor. These are the crimes. So so I'm starting to at least get a conglomeration of them. So it is now my turn to do my actions. So as you can see, I'm sitting in that cop car up there, and I got to figure out what to do. So I think what I'm going to do is I will do the move step, and the move step, as you know, is 1, 2, 3. Okay, he's right here. I am not next to him. Diagonals count when you're on foot. Diagonals don't count when you're on in the car. Okay, so I can only exit orthogonally from the car. But as you know, my cruiser has that ability. I'm exhausting my cruiser, and I actually have 2 crimes, so I can actually move 2 spaces. But I'm just going to move 1. I'll turn them around. So I'm going to move 1, and that ends my movement. And then now I'm going to I can always enter or exit. So I will exit right next to him like so. Okay. All right. So that was my move step. So now I'm going to do probably a card step. And so let's figure out which card we want to play. And let's bust this guy. Let's book him, Dano. All right. So this guy, as you can see, has no resistance to the cautious approach, and we happen to have a cautious card, so this is the one we're going to play. So we're going to encounter, we're going to roll 2 dice, reducing the target's resistance by 1. Well, yeah, actually that's almost like overkill, isn't it? But we'll do it anyways. So we're going to reduce his by 1. It's already at 0, so it doesn't matter. But that's the card we're going to play. We only get to roll 2 dice, so that part sucks. And so this is a critical, so that counts as a success. I have 2 successes, and I get to roll a 3rd die. Oh yes, we got 3 successes there. And the reason why I'm cheering is you're going to see in a second, the particular crime we're going after needed 3 to bust him. If we would have had 2, we would have had to figure out another way to bust him. Okay, so we busted him, and so there is no bust effect on the bottom. So what happens is he's out of the game. So this influence doesn't go anywhere. We just, get rid of it. And then we captured this criminal, and he's busted, and I think he just goes into the discard pile. So yeah, there's a criminal discard. So he's out. And we remove him from the map, and he's no longer helping Slater to get influence tokens. So so now we've done the move step, we've done the card step. Remember, we don't have to go in order, but we're choosing to. And now we got to do the action step. So we can do another move. We can do the card action, which we don't really have. We can get a hunch, which isn't a bad idea. Or we can interact, which there is nothing to interact with. Now, clearly, we need to move to the other end of town. No arguments there. Getting a hunch is not a bad idea, because I think there was some things where you have to discard a hunch or you gain a stress, remember? So we do have a dilemma, and I don't know which one is more important. Like, is it really that big of a deal to get a stress? I don't have any way to remove stress right now. So from that perspective, I think we may want to think we may want to do something about that. So I think, and one other thing I need to check the rule book on, and I'm sort of multitasking here, is these boats. I think these boats may actually be in the game. One of them is in the Sagamore Yacht Club, and the other one's in South Glen Docks, which basically means you got one boat on that end and one boat on that end. And I think that they're always available, and you can use that for water travel. I think I was supposed to set this up. Let me check real quick. Because all these other ones, for example, that says, you know, it starts with a police officer, which it does. And then, of course, those are the Gucci ones. It lets you move diagonally. That's an interesting one. So instead of, interesting. Anyways, see these other ones? They don't have a symbol for where they start. So I'm just going to check real quick. My apologies. Prepare vehicles. Each player takes a BCPD cruiser and places it face up. Each player places their cruiser miniature, Then set aside all other special vehicles placed up near the game board along with their miniatures. Finally, shuffle together the remaining vehicle cards. Yeah, there's nothing about the boats coming out. So those boats must be something that comes out some other way. So it does say, while this card is not controlled by a cop in South Glen Docks may commandeer this vehicle. So I actually believe that it's available to us. I really do. So let's look at the so this is a copter. While this card is not controlled by a cop in BCPD or Reeves International Airport may take control. I actually think these are all available to us. You just have to be in the right place. This one's a Delta Keys one, which we're not playing with. So I'll put it at the bottom. There's 3 helicopters, 4 helicopters. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. With that being said, we actually have some miniatures for the boats. So we have this one for the Yolanda, and that's going to be at the Yacht Club. So we can put that right here, like that. And then they actually gave us 2 miniatures that are identical. I don't know what the other one's for, because this one is the Sud Skimmer, and it's at the South Glen Docks. There is the South Glen Docks. That's this one. So I'm going to assume that these are available. You just have to basically be next to it to commandeer it, and you can take it. And then, by the way, the cruisers, the Gucci ones, you can get at the police station if you happen to be there. So, yeah, I'll roll with that. So let's, what are we going to do with our action? Are we going to hunch or are we going to move? I'm going to take the hunch. So hunch token is in my position. And now what brought all that up? The yacht has a special ability that if you're on the yacht, it's so much luxury that when you travel via the yacht, you actually reduce your stress by 1. So that was what caused me to think of all these things. Okay, so now we're done. We move to the crime phase. Here's our crime dude. Either place an influence on this card or discard 1 hunch. Oh, good questions. Good questions. I'm going to put an influence on him. I'm not discarding a hunch. So we're going to do this on him. Okay, so now we get to do our draw phase. We'll draw our new card, and each cop may move 3 again. So we got another one of those. And wherever those tactic cards are, we're definitely not drawing them. But look, I mean, it's a pretty thick deck. I guess, you know, I'm just, yep. Okay, so I believe I shuffled them. Okay, next. Criminal, activate. So here we go. This is the reason why I didn't discard the hunch. Because here, if an investor has 3 influence, then we would discard them. Otherwise, if Slade does not get an influence this way, we have to discard a hunch or suffer stress. So now I'm going to discard my hunch. So I'm just going to sort of play that game to not take the stress damage. And then, of course, Yolanda gets 1 for each blackmail card. There so far is not any blackmail cards that I'm aware of. I'm assuming a blackmail card would have a key word on it. And let's just make sure. So I'm going to look at the case deck from the rear here. I know it sounds a little provocative. So we have events, a whole bunch of them. Another event. They're all events. So where the heck are the blackmail cards? These are clearly not where the blackmail cards come from. So maybe they come from the criminal deck. Let me check that. That's an event. Right there, crime, blackmail. That's it, right there. Okay, so these were at the bottom of the deck. I hope we're not cheating too much. We have no idea what's in the top. So right now, my crime is fraud. And the one we discarded, I'll check right now when we put this back. That one was takeover. So none of them were blackmail. So I think we're fine. So nothing happens there. And then the Mina thing's happening, but now Mina only rolls 4 dice because we actually have a clue on the lead. So this time we didn't get as lucky. We rolled 1. So 1 stress goes on Mina. So the little girl's getting frightened. Okay. So now we go to the case turn. We activate everything here. There is not a hunch on here, so nothing's going to happen. Nothing happens here, but we are going to draw a new card. And like I said, this one seems to be all events. So a cop without a copy of cryptic message in their crime area must put this in their crime area. If unable, each cop must discard 1 hunch. If you gain the active lead, discard this card. Activate. Either suffer 1 stress or place 1 stress on Mina. So that happens. Now, I don't know why I would suffer a stress instead of putting 1 on Mina. Did I misunderstand this? Mina, if there's 5 or more stress on this card, discard 5, and each cop could... Oh, I see. See, in our case, it's always better to give the stress to Mina. But if we had like 4 cops in this game, then all 4 cops could end up getting stress from Mina. So the cryptic message would only cause 1 stress to 1 cop. I see. But because we're playing only a 1-player game, it's actually better to put it on Mina. So it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we have this cryptic message, and it's now in our crime area. And interesting. So now we go back. We're on to round 3. So that took us 14 minutes. And that was with me looking up a rule in the rule book. So the rounds are definitely quick in this game. So I do appreciate that. Obviously, with more players, it's going to take longer. All right, we've got to do the dispatch phase. So I'm going to refresh my cop car. And let's get the next crime. It's an event. Oh, let's go sit back down so I can read the event. Search the criminal discard pile for an investor and put it into play. If no investor enters play this way, each cop must choose one of the following for each crime in their crime area. We're either going to place a influence on the crime or we suffer a stress. Ugh. If I put an influence on the crime, at the end of this turn, that crime is going to put an influence on Slade. What a crappy event. My crime is all the way to bloody down here. I couldn't get him taken care of this turn unless I'm willing to ditch my car. If I ditch my car and I bust him, I need 4 successes to bust this guy though. That's not looking good. So I don't think I have a choice but to suffer the stress. I don't want him getting a stress. Or obviously if he got a token, I can try to bust Blake. If I bust Blake, I can remove a stress from him. But I think busting him is not... I mean, I only need 3 successes. I just don't think that removing stress is that easy in this game. Hey, this is my first playthrough. Let's not over AP this. I'm leaning towards thinking that getting stress is bad. But obviously with him getting an influence token this quickly, he's 25% of the way towards winning the game. So I'll take the stress for now. So I discarded the event, and I'm just going to gain a second stress. And now I get to go. So it's my turn. The good news with the event is I didn't get another crime, right? So it's sort of like a mixed blessing, if you will. So we get to do a move step, a card step, and an action step. All right, so I'm going to do the move step, obviously, first. Oh, here we go. We can not do a move step and discard a stress right there. So if I'm willing to not move, I can take a stress away. All right, well, that makes taking the stress not so big a deal. Okay, all right, I do want to move, though. I don't want to remove the stress this yet. So with our move, we're going to get back in our car, and we're going to move 1, 2, 3, okay? And then I'm going to exhaust this, and since I have 1 crime in my crime area, I get to move a 4th one. And then for the card play, I'm going to do this one that lets me do another move. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, the card can only do orthogonal movements. You can go diagonal with your cop. That still didn't get us there. And then for the action step, I'm going to do yet another move action. I don't see anything else to do. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm back to the B. Now, what I could have done is ditch the car. It's an interesting idea to ditch the car, because then I could have just instantly traveled somewhere else. But we'll try this and see where this goes. Okay, so we're done, and now we do the crime phase. So this guy is getting an influence. We don't have a hunch to discard, so he gets an influence. This one, activate. Either suffer 1 stress or place 1 on Mina. Oh, you know what? Now I take the stress. Or no, I'm going to put a stress on Mina. That's what it is. Yeah, sorry. I was confusing my wires there. So Mina now has 2 stress. Okay, so then we get to draw a card. So here we go. We got an encounter. We still haven't found a vigilance yet. Or I'm sorry, a trait. So, by the way, there's only 3 traits for each character in a character deck. At least that's what I remember. But there could be more than 1 copy of the trait. And for example, if you have a trait in your in your play area, and then you get a second copy of that trait, then you're doing what's called a prepare action. It's not an action, but you know what I mean. It's just called a prepare. And then you get to do whatever is in the, there's like an actual text in a prepare section. So having a second copy is not a bad thing at all. We haven't even found a first copy of anything. So let's hope our luck changes there. Okay, so now we go here and we're on the criminal turn. And the investor still doesn't have jack diddly. So nothing's going to happen with the investor. However, this funding the syndicate thing is going to cause us to discard a hunch or suffer a stress. So we are now at 3 stress out of 10. And then Mina is going to roll 4 dice. And there was no criticals. So we got lucky. Nothing happens to Mina. All right, so now we move to the case. Nothing happens here or here, but we do draw a card. And as we know, because we were looking for those blackmails, that every card here is an event. So this one, each cop who controls 1 or more clue tokens may discard 1 hunch to discard 1 stress from Mina. Each cop who controls no clue tokens suffers 1 stress. So we get another stress. So now we're up to 4. I'm starting to get a little concerned about that. Okay, so then we do the end, and we're back to here. So we've just done 2 rounds in 20 minutes. And refresh cards in the cop's play area, so the cop vehicle is going to refresh. And then we do the dispatch, and off we go. We're on what? This is round 4? All right, it's an event. Either suffer 2 stress or place this card in your crime area. After you successfully encounter Slade, discard this card. Each target you encounter gains +1 resistance to the cautious. Ooh. I'm looking. The investor has 0 resistance for cautious approach. So what does resistance mean? It just means they absorb. It's almost like armor in any other game. So if you roll 1 success and they have 1 resistance, then basically you got 0 successes still. You have to roll 2 successes to get 1. I don't know if I want to gain 2 stress right now. That would put me up to 6. I'm going to take the card. So I now have 1 more resistance to everything. Such tough choices. Okay, so now we're on to our action phase. So what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to play my card first. I'm going to play the one that says each cop may move 3. So I'm going to play that one right now. And I get to go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to exhaust my police car to go 4. And then I'm going to get out. All right. So then I'm going to, for my move step, I'm actually going to discard 1 stress. So we just healed 1 stress. And then for my action step, I do have on my card the Gabe Fulton here. I can, well actually look at this, I can move 2 and encounter. I didn't even realize I can do a move. That's like icing on the cake there. But that's what I'm going to do, except I'm not actually going to move. So let's encounter this guy. I get to roll 2 dice. It is the aggressive action. And just to remind you, this guy has 1 resistance to the aggressive approach. So, or reckless, I think is the term they use. And I have a boom and a bada boom. Okay, this is a crit, so I'm going to roll another one. And that's a success. So 2 successes. I don't have any hunches, so I can't convert that one. But because I didn't convert this, I get to take a hunch, which saves me a stress, in fact. I mean, that was actually I'm feeling like I was brilliant for a change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put what's affecting me in here. Because I hate putting it on the card because I keep picking up the card to show you, what's on it. So I'm going to just put the stuff in here so that way we know what effects I have. That represents what's on the card. Okay, but we got 2 successes on this guy. Now, that doesn't help us per se because he has 1 resistance. So he absorbed 1. So then what we have is we have 1 progress on him out of the 4 that we need. So this is going to be a slow going kind of thing. And then I am out of actions. So now we do the crime phase. So this guy is going to get 3, which I'm just going to take all of them away and keep 1. And this goes up on Slade. So he's 25% there. So not good. And then here, Mina is going to suffer a stress. And that's it. So now we get to draw a card. Going all in. I may suffer a stress to place 2 progress on the target. So there we go. We do have some attacky cards now. So let's see if that can work out for us. But right now, we're going to go to the criminal turn. So if you remember, we got to take stress or take influence from the investor who doesn't have any. So we have to discard a hunch or take a stress. So I'll discard the hunch. And then the Mina gets to go, and she's rolling 4 dice. And she's going to get 1 stress from that. So she's up to 4. All right, and then we go to the case, and you know the deal. We're going to get an event. Each cop must either discard a lead they control or place 1 stress on Mina. All right, so Mina is up to 5 stress. So I'm just going to put the stress off to the side and then put the 5 on her. And the 5 doesn't turn into a stress for us until she activates. Remember, she already activated, so we're down here activating these. So it waits until next time. Okay, and then we're done. So we're moving on to, I believe, round 5. All right, so I'm at a spot where I'm still trying to take this guy out. Obviously, I need to go bust Slade so I can remove that influence from him. But I think while I'm here, I need to just finish my job. I do have the investor right next to me. The investor has been no threat at all to me because she's been after blackmail and there hasn't been any. And then the lead, which is way over there by the boat. It'd be nice to get that lead just so we can get this game going. But yeah, that's basically it. So we're at the dispatch, so we refresh that, and let's draw our card. And there it is. There's a blackmail. And it's going to be on B14. And you either place an influence on this card or suffer a stress. So that one's different. The other one requires you to discard a hunch. And he goes on B14. So we're at 14 already, but it's all the way up at B. Yeah, they're just all over the map. Man, oh man. Okay, there's an airport that we can go to. Where would that airport be? Because I'm wondering, like, where's the airport that I could use those helicopters? I don't see it anywhere. I might find it later. And it might actually be on the expansion map, so we may not be able to use those helicopters. it's okay. So let's move on. It's our turn. So obviously we want to bust this guy. He has 0 resistance, by the way, to normal by the book cop. And we happen to have some of those. So I'm going to go ahead and... now what stinks is we can target somebody 5 spaces away. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, like that, as part of my move step. And then I get to encounter him 5 spaces away. So that's what I'm going to do for my card step. And I got 1, 2 successes, and I'm going to get a hunch. So I'll take the hunch. And I got 2 successes on him, which puts him up to 3 out of the 4 we need to get rid of him. And then what's really cool is now for my action step, right? So we did the move, we did the card. Now for the action, I'm going to do my main action and try to get the investor. So I'm going to basically try to book the investor. Now the investor has... Oh, this isn't going to work, by the way, folks. This isn't going to work at all. The investor has 2 resistance to aggressive or reckless. So I get to roll 2 dice, and she has 2 resistance. So unless I roll a crit and then get a 3rd, I'm not even going to do a single pointed impact on her. This is not going to work very well. The only thing that works on her is the cautious, which now has a +1 resistance because I took that card. You know what? I'm going to say that I didn't move. I know I already knew the outcome of my attack, and I apologize for that, but this is my first game, so give me some slack. So I played my card to attack him. Now I'm going to do my action to attack him. Now the move is before the encounter. So and the reason I'm bringing that up is if I defeat him with the encounter, I don't think I get to move too. So that would have been nice, but I don't think I'm going to get to do that. But I am going to try to encounter him this way. So here you can see I got 2 successes, and then I could get a 3rd. I only need 1 success, so he blocks one of them, but the other one gets him. So he's busted. And then I'm going to get 2 more hunches, which that part I'm very pleased about. Having 3 hunches is a real good thing. And so I was able to bust him. So we're going to take him off the map. And there is no benefit to busting him on there, but we do get to get him off the board. So done. All right. So now the strategy behind why I changed my mind is since I busted him, I know I can't take out the investor, at least not easily. So I'm just going to go do a move action down here. Or I'm sorry, the move step. So I can discard a stress, which actually is not a bad idea, or I can get moving, and I think I'm going to get moving. And here's what I'm thinking of doing. This investor doesn't do any harm to me as long as I catch the blackmailers. So I'm going to get back in the car and just turn her right around and go 1, 2, 3 as my move step. And then I'm going to exhaust my police car, and I get 1 more because I have a crime. Now, I know that I'm supposed to get this clue, but it's just because of where it's located, it's just not that easy to do. So now I do the crime phase. So I either suffer a stress or Mina gets 1. So Mina's going to get 1. She's up to 6 now. Okay, then this one's just a passive thing. And this one's either place an influence on the card or suffer a stress. I'm going to give him an influence. So we're done with the crime phase. So then we get to draw our card. There we go, tactic. We finally got one of our level ups. Let's see what this does for us. During each of your aggressive or reckless encounters, reduce their resistance by 1. Okay, that's all of a sudden awesome sauce. And then if it's prepared, we get to perform an action. All right, very happy with that. So we still have to play the card to get this ability, but I do like that ability. All right. So we are finished with the draw phase. Sorry, that's my son making a ruckus. Okay, that was not necessary. Buddy, don't be a jerk, okay? All right. So we move over to the criminal turn. Sorry about that. So we go over to here, and the investor doesn't have anything, so we're going to discard a hunch because we have plenty now. So we didn't take any damage there. And then this one, if no influence was moved this way, place one influence. Oh, we've been doing this wrong. Oh, no. Okay, how many turns has there been? We're on turn 5. So that means she got 1, 2, 3. And then on turn 4, he would have taken 1. And now on turn 5, she's going to get 1 because there's a blackmailer out there. So he actually has 2 on him. I hope I did that right. And the thing that I missed is right here in the little text. Let me see if I can zoom in for you here. It says move all influence from each blackmail card to this card, which there wasn't any blackmail card, so I was thinking, oh yeah, it's no big deal. If no influence was moved this way, put 1 influence on this card. So she gets 1 no matter what. So these investors stink. All right, and so then Mina is going to roll 4 dice. And she gets nothing, but she does have 6 stress. So she's going to lose 5. And then we're going to get 1. So we're up to 4. Okay, this game's getting a lot harder with that revelation. All right, and then we do the case turn. And then the case turn has so far, this particular case is nothing but bad events. Each cop who controls 1 or more clue tokens must either discard 1 hunch or suffer a stress. Each cop who has no clue tokens suffers 1 stress. So we get another 1. And we are up to 5 stress ourselves. All right. So that ends the round, and we're going to be starting our next round. So thanks for watching, and stay awesome.